All right, I am with Charlie Hull. We are here in Dallas at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. I actually want to start with the fact that you've won in this area before. So do you draw on those good vibes at all? Or is it just like new week, new tournament, it's a major?
Yeah, just new week, new tournament, it's a major. Obviously, it's like a newish golf course. To be fair, I don't really like this kind of grass. Like whenever we play on this kind of, is it Bermuda? I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
But you know, I done well when I played in Texas here last time when I won, so hopefully, good vibes coming into this week.
Yeah, for sure. And they just announced yesterday that they increased the purse to $12 million. How awesome is that? I mean, it just keeps getting higher and higher, so how cool is that?
No, that's really cool that they've done that. It's really, really, really nice that KPMG has done that. What is the purse on the US Open? Is it the same now?
I think it might be, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's really cool.
So the majors keep going up?
Yeah.
What does the preparation look like in a major week? Do you prepare any differently, or is it the same?
Yeah, kind of a little bit. Like I flew in Monday night, and then just played 18 holes yesterday in the pram, and then just a bit of practice today. Kind of what I do every week, to be honest.
Right, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so how's the running going? Have you been your?
Yeah, like I haven't really been to the gym too much lately. Like when I go to the gym, I lose loads of weight, and I feel like I've lost like 3 or 4 kgs, which I'm happy with. But yeah, I've been doing a bit of running, just kind of everything in moderation. My sister just had a baby, so I've just been up there with a baby.
Oh, that's
exciting.
exciting.
Getting my practice in for the future.
Oh, wait, yeah. So how's that? Is it a boy or a girl?
I've got 3 nephews now, so I've got one. My oldest nephew is 24. My other nephew, Ralphie, is 4, and then the newborn as well, 2 weeks old.
That's so exciting. I have 2 nephews, so it's the best being an aunt.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What do you make of this course, and what club do you think will be most important for you?
Yeah, it's a good golf course. I really loved Sahali last year.
Yeah, it was
usually
awesome.
my kind of favourite kind of golf courses. But yeah, this is a good golf course, and just a low one through the wind.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck this week,
Thanks.
Charlie.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Thank
chatting.
you. Thanks.
All right, I am with Hannah Green. We are at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Tell me what you're thinking of the course so far. I mean, the build, it's huge. It feels like a major. It's, good vibes for sure. But what are you feeling?
Yeah, it's nice to be in Texas. I'm kind of glad that we have a breeze right now.
Yes.
Otherwise, it would be quite warm. The forecast showing 35 degrees Celsius every day is a little warmer than what we're used to.
Just a bit.
Yeah, it's a tough course. The wind is definitely going to be its defense. I think it's going to be similar wind direction every day, so I think that makes it easier for us players to at least know what to expect.
For sure.
But it's going to be some long holes, going to be some shorter holes that you want to make birdies, but obviously trying to always make pars. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the week.
Yeah, pars are definitely your friend at majors, so not a bad way to go about it. What do you think is going to be important this week, whether it's off the tee, it's an approach shot course? What do you think is going to be important?
Yeah, I think definitely off the tee. I mean, the fairways are pretty generous, I would say, but I know when the seniors play, they like completely tore up the course. It was like 20 under par that one, so I don't know if the scores will quite be like that, but I think since I played here a few weeks ago, they've grown the rough out, so it can be a little bit penalising. Sometimes it can sit up, sometimes you can't even see it unless you're right on top of it. So obviously hitting fairways is always great, but people are going to miss greens, so just making sure you don't short side yourself, because it's tricky to get some spin, even with chip shots and some bunker shots. But yeah, I think everyone's going to have everything good in the game, but that's what majors are. They make you test every part of your game.
That is what it's all about. So you've played this course before. How great is that? Because this course is new to a lot of people. So do you feel like that's kind of an advantage to be able to have said you've played it before?
Yeah, I think so. I joined a golf club in Fort Worth, Texas a couple years ago, so I've been using that as my base when I have weeks off. So I thought, because I've been in Fort Worth a few times this year, that I should come over and see it. And it's about an hour drive, so it was kind of a long commute, but it was well worth seeing. And I actually played the same wind direction, so that was good, because I was saying to the girls, we'll probably be the complete opposite, and this will be kind of a waste of time. But it's been been the same, and it just puts a little bit less pressure on myself, I guess, when I get here to the week. My flight got cancelled Sunday night at Grand Rapids, so I travelled all day Monday, and I didn't feel as guilty that I didn't exactly go out and practice and see the course.
For sure.
Having played here already.
For sure. Yeah. Well, a lot of people, I don't know if you do, but a lot of people have like coaches out this week. Yes. What does that look like a little behind the scenes, for people watching and listening? What does that look like for you guys? What kind of stuff are you working on, or are you working on anything? You just have them here to look at your swing, whatever it may be.
My coach is actually here.
Okay.
So he was with Min Woo last week at the US Open, and then he's actually flying home tonight. But it was nice to have him here for the prep, because I feel like Minji and I both work with him, but there's always little things that perhaps we don't realize we're falling into a pattern. And with my putting, he was looking at my stroke, and with a right to left putt, my stroke was going outside. Just something that I don't really realize.
Right.
Just
little things.
Little things. Yeah. Nothing. We're not trying to recreate my swing or my putting stroke or anything like that. It's just a couple little reminders, I guess, that I've usually do. So it's nice having him here this week, but I'm not trying to do anything out of the ordinary. I'm still preparing like I would any other tournament.
For sure.
I feel like sometimes when I get to major championships, I put too many hours in, and then by the Sunday I'm completely exhausted. Not trying to do that approach this week. Just keep everything the same as normal.
Fair. Last question. I know you want to get to the range, but you've won this tournament before. So do you draw on those good vibes when you tee it up here?
Yeah, definitely. As a past champion, I feel like I get treated really well. It was really, really fun on Monday night having the champions dinner, seeing everyone, the current and the past champions. And it was nice having my coach Richie here, but I'm also staying with a few other players. So it's been a really fun week so far, and I have a later tee time than what I'm used to, 2:30 tomorrow afternoon.
Wow, yeah.
But hopefully the wind isn't too strong, and I can actually use an umbrella to keep my out of the sun. But I'm looking forward to the week. Always love coming back for KPMG.
Awesome. Well, good luck this week, Hannah. Thanks for catching up, and excited to watch you play.
Thanks, Hope.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, I am here with Sarah Schmemellzel. We are at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship Wednesday before the major. How are you feeling?
Really good. I mean, it's been a good week of prep. It's a tough golf course, so seen it a few times, and just looking forward to getting the week started.
Yeah, so you said you've seen it a few times. Is that just this week, or had you played it before this week as well?
Yeah, just this week. Just the last few days, trying to get a bunch of reps in on the golf course. My coach is here this week, so it's always nice to have him out on the course with me, especially at a major where it'll demand a lot of your game. So, just last few days.
Yeah, so you mentioned your coach is here. Tell me what that includes and what that involves, because I think a lot of people are curious. There's always coaches major weeks, so what kind of stuff are you working on? Are you tweaking? What's that look like behind the scenes?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in touch with him pretty much 24/7 on weeks that he's not here, but it's so different once he can come out on the golf course. I would say it's a pretty full-on process when I have him. Obviously, it's checking off all of the are the fundamentals good, what maybe bad habits are you accumulating right now, and then it's always interesting to see how he would play a hole versus maybe what my mind is seeing and stuff like that. So he'll throw out different ideas or how to hit different shots from around the green, and he might see something that maybe Sho and I don't catch. So it's always fun to have him there. It just it brings a good sense of reassurance going into a big week.
Yeah, extra set of eyes as well. You and I have talked a lot about your mental game, and you've said how important it is to you. Going into a major, it's a huge course. The greens are big. It's a tough test, like you mentioned. How important is it to be dialed in on that, the mental game of it?
Yeah, you just can't beat yourself, which I think has been the biggest, theme of my year so far, and what I've worked really hard on the past couple years is being really okay with whatever the outcome is of each shot, and just really, once the shot that I've hit is done, focusing on the next one. You can't get too down on yourself. The golf course is going to beat you up, so you can't do it to yourself also.
Fair enough. So one shot at a time is your motto this week. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Sarah, and best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, I am here with Grace Kim. Last time me and Grace did an interview, we were eating hot wings, so this is probably a better scenario for you right
100%.
now.
100%. If you had them again, I would not be sitting here. So.
And you know what? That's fair. I wouldn't either.
Yeah, exactly.
We would not be here right now. But we are, and this weather is a little bit crazy. It's been sprinkling, it's windy, it's hot. What do you make of the weather this week? Does it remind you of Australia at all?
I mean, I think the heat definitely.
Yeah.
It can get pretty hot up in Australia, so but it's more of a drier heat here, and where I'm from is more humid. So just keeping on top of my hydrolytes or my electrolytes this week, and just mentally preparing for the heat.
Yeah. Is there quite a bit of that in a major week? Obviously, this course, it's a beast. It's very long. Is there a lot of mental preparation going into the third major of the year now?
Yeah, I mean, I think just it being a major, a lot of people have high expectations for themselves, and then if you don't do as well as you think, it just kind of amplifies the disappointment. So making sure you kind of do the same thing as you've been doing every week, and just like you said, mentally just preparing yourself. It's going to be a grind. It's a long course. It can get windy, so just making sure you're just staying in your lane.
Dialed in.
Yes, pretty much.
How do you manage those expectations? Because you want to play well at a major. These are the ones that everyone, prepares for. So do you kind of go into it like this is every other week, or do you treat it like a major?
I think you just, at the end of the week, you're going to have to, or at the end of the day, you're going to have to treat it like any other week. It's already hard enough it being titled as a major. So I think if you want to be able to play well and try not to have too many thoughts, just because it is a major, just try and treat it like every other week. You don't need to do anything other than what you have been doing. Probably just a couple of lower shots or anything like that. So I try to simplify golf. I think that's when I play my best.
Yeah, definitely. KPMG, that it's always long courses. So we were talking about it before. What club do you think you're going to use the most out here, other than like driver and putter, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, I played the front nine today. It wasn't as windy, but I still had a couple of mid irons, probably up to even like a 4 hybrid. So I just hit a couple of shots there. But I think, you either have a good 3-shotter par 5 or you've just got like a strong par 4.
Okay. And I see Drew's back on the bag.
Yes, he is.
So he just had a baby. So how nice is it? Obviously John Pond stepped up, which was amazing. We love John Pond around here, but how amazing is it to have him back on the bag for a major?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just kind of forget how like nice it is to have your own caddy. So it is really nice to have him back. But yeah, he's having to look after a little one back at home, but now he's having to look after a big one. So it's fun.
2 babies.
Yeah, pretty much.
1 week. Okay, well, Grace, thank you so much for doing this, and best of luck.
Thank you.
I'm going to run the other way.
I said, no, come back. Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast.
You should do the intro.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, good. All right, 3, 2. All right, I am here with Bianca Pagdan. We are at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. This build, I was just talking about it with someone, it just feels big. How good does it feel to be on site at another major? It feels like we're just like knocking them out right now. So how good does it feel?
Yeah, honestly, like this whole property is huge.
Yeah.
I guess they weren't kidding when they said everything's bigger in Texas.
Can confirm.
But I'm really excited. I think this might be my first major of the year. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've seen the course. It's been amazing. It's in great condition. And I could see how it can be challenging for a lot of us.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said one of the key aspects of like people's games this week is to be a long hitter. Would you agree with that? Because, well, you are, so.
Sure, if I could keep it in the fairway, that would be great. Sure, distance is an advantage, but the rough's pretty tricky. I mean, again, I've seen the course, and you could get good breaks from the rough, but you could also get like some pretty nasty lies. Yeah. So, sure, distance and a little more accuracy
is important this week. Okay, so the little combination of those might be good.
100%.
So what club are you using the most, other than like, driver and putter, obviously?
Oh gosh, I feel like I have a lot of mid irons in. Like some of these par 4s have been pretty long. I don't feel like I hit it as long as I used to. That's why I'm saying this. But no, I feel like a lot of mid irons in on some of these par 4s. I mean, I played on Sunday, and I feel like conditions were a little bit different. But I'm seeing some of the holes again today, so we'll see. But very vague.
Right.
Mid iron.
Oh, perfect. Good to know. Write it down, people. So obviously in Texas, like you said, everything's bigger here, but also the weather is very unpredictable. As we can see, it was just raining like 2 seconds ago.
I know.
It's windy, it's hot. How do you manage? You can't manage it, but like how do you personally kind of control what you can control when it comes to the weather?
Like you said, there's only so much you can control out here, and everyone's going to be dealing with the same thing. So it's really just a matter of how you look at this, and you just kind of have to deal with whatever's being handed to you, I guess, is all I could say. With it being a major, it's going to be mentally and physically exhausting. So just trying to keep a positive mindset throughout the whole week is probably going to help. Yeah.
Okay, last question. First major of the year for you. What kind of thought process do you go into it with? Do you treat it like a normal event, or do you treat it like a major?
Try to keep the same mindset heading into every week. It's always an opportunity to play golf. Yeah. So I try to keep the pressure off myself. I guess just accept anything that really comes into my head. You're going to have positive and negative thoughts. It's just how you handle all of it again. Right. So just having that mindset throughout the whole week, I'm just going to enjoy it. It's a great course. I'm happy to be back in Dallas, honestly. So, just looking forward to the entire week.
All right, love it. Texas is happy to have you back.
Hell yeah.
Well, thank you, Bianca, and best of luck this week.
Thank you.
Okay, I am here with my friend Anna. We are at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. How are you feeling going into the week? One more day before everyone tees off. So what are your thoughts right now going into the week?
I'm just really excited. It's the first major that I'm playing in a while. So I'm just trying to soak everything in. You know, it's a little bit bigger. Everything's bigger, and I'm just enjoying it and trying to figure out the course, but also kind of like pace myself a little bit because it's going to be a really hot and long week.
Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas too, by the way, from here. So, you know, I can say that. How do you kind of pace yourself? Because you do want to get out here, you want to practice, you know, you want to do all the things, but how do you pace yourself so you know you're not exhausted by the time the tournament starts?
Yeah, so this week I played 18 holes on Monday, and I just try to get most of my work done early in the week, so then I kind of take it easy on Wednesday and just maybe like do something off the course as well. Like I have a few friends in town, so I can get to catch up with them, so that kind of like helps me relax a little bit getting into the tournament, but making sure I do most of my work on Monday and Tuesday, so then I'm not cramming on a Wednesday.
Yeah, kind of take your mind off of the big thing happening right now. I know you like to tinker. I know you like to tinker with some clubs and try out new things, which I love that about you. But what club do you think this week is going to be most important in your game?
Ooh. I think it's an approach shot course, second shot course. As long as you like put it in play off the tee, I think the second shot's gonna be where it's at, and obviously like whoever makes the most putts. But I feel like this is the case every week. So.
Right, I know putting is always important, no matter what. Okay, last question. KPMG Women's PGA Championship. It's always such a great major. They always put on such a good event. What do you love about this tournament?
It's always been great hospitality, and it just feels like big. It's nice to see all the grandstands and how well they treat us. We have a player-only dining upstairs, and it's really good. Like ordering off the menu, it's great. Can we have that every week?
That's amazing.
But yeah, it's great. Like also raising the purse and playing for so much money right now. It's great. Like we see the men's purses being raised left and right, and it's great that we're slowly catching up to that. Maybe not quite catching up, but like closing the gap. So it's a huge honor to play in a tournament like that and for that much money.
Yeah, being a cat mom like myself, you could provide an even better life for Scotty.
Oh, he's gonna have a great life. He already does, but it's gonna be taken even up a notch further.
I love that. Well, best of luck this week, and I can't wait to watch you tee it up.
Thank you.
I am here with Ashley Buhai. We are at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, and I am chatting with the major champion right now. I mean, how does that feel? I know you've played in many majors since then, but is there some sort of relief going into a major championship knowing that you've done it before?
Yeah, sure, I think so. I think anytime you rock up to a major knowing you've won one, there's a little bit of hidden confidence, even if you maybe not coming in with the best form, but knowing that you've accomplished it and achieved it and ticked it off. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, and you actually just mentioned that, like sometimes not coming into a major in the best form, but we've seen some like kind of random people win that weren't necessarily playing all that well going into majors. What do you think it is about a major? Do you think people just kind of like, turn another switch on, or is it just it's so complicated? Like, what do you think it is that people tend to play well at majors sometimes?
I think it's very much course dependent. Some of our majors, obviously Chevron, we stay in the same location.
Right.
Evian we stay, but the others we switch around. So you're going to get to some courses that are going to suit you more than others. And I think that's relates. Like this week, the wind's gonna blow. Players that enjoy playing in the wind are gonna really love it. I love playing in the wind.
I was gonna say, I think you do.
I'm hoping it's gonna suit me.
I
was expecting the course to maybe be a little bit firmer, especially with the heat. But yeah, you got to just plot your way around it. And I think also major championships, you got to be so patient.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of like the length of the course, it's maybe not as firm as people expected, but what club do you think is going to be most important in your bag this week?
Driver and putter. The rough is up. So it's kind of, because it's the Bermuda, it really just sinks down to the bottom. I mean, I literally missed a few fairways by a foot and was struggling to find my ball the other morning. So the good thing is if it does sit down, it kind of, you can make it jump a little bit out the rough to get it out there. But greens are pure and fast, and you just got to make sure you keep it in the fairway.
All right. So the tournament just announced that they are raising the purse to $12 million. I mean, how incredible is that?
Yeah, we're so grateful, for KPMG for coming on board. Well, I think we're in our 10th or 11th year now.
Yeah, it's been a while now.
Yeah, so, and, for just elevating it and keeping up there. And, all the majors are trying to compete against each other, which is awesome.
We kind of love it.
Yes, we do. we do love it.
Keep going.
Every year, as long as we keep, going up, we're going to be very happy players.
Definitely. Well, best of luck this week. Thanks for chatting. And we can't wait to watch you tee it up.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. All right, I'm here with Esther Hinselite. We're at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship here in Texas. What do you make of the course so far this week?
It's fun. It's going to be interesting to see what the wind's doing. That's kind of going to be determining the score, really. I can see everything from low scoring to just impossible to break par depending on the wind. But I think it's fun. I think it definitely suits the ball strikers. Some long par fours out there, but I think it's going to be a good challenge.
Yeah. What do you think, if you were to guess, what do you think the final score, the winning score might be?
Well, I think it's going to be windy.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe 8, 9 under.
Okay. I was going around 9, 10, but I don't know if it'll get into double digits. We'll see. TBD on the wind, I guess.
Yeah.
Going into the third major of the year, how does a week like this feel different than a regular LPGA event? And does the preparation look different for you at all?
Yes, it does. You kind of want to make sure your energy levels are pretty high starting into Thursday, just because it's going to be a long and tough week. And you just have to be a bit more patient and a bit more friendly to yourself. Right. Be your own best friend out there and just enjoy the challenge.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I feel like someone said earlier, the course is going to beat you up, so don't beat yourself up. How is that hard to do though when you're out there and maybe you hit a bad shot? Do you just take it one shot at a time, or how do you control that?
I mean, I'd say I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah,
just hitting the shot. Just short feedback. What can I do better next time? And then kind of get on to the next shot and don't think ahead either. I think I'm doing that pretty well. And I just had 2 weeks off, so nice. I'd hope I'm pretty fresh and can just chill.
No, for sure. I mean, and it's hot out here. It's going to be windy, so that's always key. I feel like being rested and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
You have Brooker on your bag now, right? I mean, he's a legend. What has it been like working with him? I just think that's always really cool to see how it kind of works out here with the caddies and the players and how people switch up. But he's awesome. So what has it been like working with him?
It's been great. I mean, he has so much experience. He's worked for so many number ones. He's got wins everywhere. So it's great to kind of feed off his experience, just to know what I might need to work on, where I need to improve, and just his experience when it's windy, when it's firm on the greens. I've been enjoying it a lot. I hope he is too.
We'll get him in here after.
Exactly, No, it's been great.
Yeah. I want to go back just for a second to the Olympics. I mean, you had an amazing week. You got the silver medal. Do you ever kind of draw back on those good vibes, maybe going into a major? Because it's obviously very similar, emotions and vibes and stuff.
I mean, yes, it's always fun to look back, but I'm kind of at a point where I put that behind me. It's always still nice to, we got the medal out last week because I'm taking it back to Germany next week. So it's always nice to look at it, to look back at that experience, that last final round. But I'm looking ahead.
Yeah, you're I've moved on from there.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, best of luck this week and excited to watch you play.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, I'm here with Lucy Lee. We are here in Frisco for the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. What do you make of this place so far? Because it's a big course and it's a big establishment.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a huge, huge property. I came out a couple weeks ago and played the course, and so I think it's going to be really good tournament. I really like the setup here, and it's kind of weather dependent. But
yes,
yeah,
very much weather dependent. when it comes to like the wind, and obviously it's very hot and it was raining like 5 seconds ago, how you obviously can't control that. So how do you control your game when it comes to the weather? Just adjusting quickly, or?
Yeah, I like playing in like bad weather conditions. You know, so where I grew up in California, it was always windy and cold and a little misty. Right. So I'm used to it. I think it's just, you know, being mentally prepared for it and anything out here, because it wasn't supposed to rain on the forecast, and then people are like, oh, there's thunderstorms, there's rain, there's wind, there's all sorts of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it was nice though. When it's windy, it's not as hot.
Yes.
So, yeah.
100. I forgot to put sunscreen on today. So.
Oh no.
It's fine. It's on my face. We're good to go. But let's talk about what you achieved recently. You graduated, I think, with like a 4.0, right? In like analytics or something. I don't know. Just tell me. You're so smart and you're playing out on tour. Like, how did you do that?
Yeah, I graduated from UPenn with my degree in data analytics and psychology. I don't know. I just love school and studying and learning. And so I don't, honestly, people always ask me, how do you have time to do like 2 full-time things? I think it's partially because I'm very organized and partially because I don't really have a social life.
Golf and school.
Yeah. So I was like, now that I'm done with school, I'll try to be 10% more social. But it really hasn't happened yet. So we'll see. That's my goal.
You just graduated. I love the 10% more social. Yeah. We're not going over 10.
No.
Fair enough. What do you think, if you were not a golfer, what do you think you would be doing then?
I don't know. There's a lot of things I'm really interested in. I mean, I grew up in the Bay Area, so I was around tech a lot in the Silicon Valley. I think I would either be maybe doing something in tech or finance. Okay. It's kind of my family's background. They all have degrees in computer science, and they're all working in finance and blah, blah, blah. So I'm kind of the black sheep of the family. So I think something like that probably. Okay.
Casual. I could barely graduate from Texas A&M, and I was not playing a sport. So, okay, last question about that. How proud are you of yourself? Because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, because I'm the type of person, I just like put my head down and go to work. And so I think it didn't really kind of set in until maybe a week before I was actually going to graduate and go walk. And I was like, you know, I think that is really cool that I was able to do that while I was playing golf. And, you know, my goal that I set, I was like, I really don't need to care about my GPA, but I was like, I'm just gonna do it because, like, why not? Yeah, you know, like, push myself. And so I am really proud that I was able to do that.
Totally. Okay, last question just about this week. What's the game plan heading into Thursday?
I think my game plan is the same every week, which is sort of just to stay in the moment and, you know, give every shot my best.
All right, I love it. Well, good luck this week.
And drink lots of water.
Hydrate. That is very important.
Use my sun umbrella and do all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's going to be needed this week for sure. Well, thank you for doing this, and best of luck.
Thanks, Hope.
Thanks. All right, I am here with Lana Stroh, and we are at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Were you about to go practice at the range? Like, what was the plan for today?
I played 9 holes this morning. It was quite slow out there, but I kind of took my time, and you know, it was the first time I saw the back 9 today. I did front 9 on Monday, so just finished that, just had some lunch, and then I'm just gonna do some practice. Trying to rest up a little bit this week, because this is my 4th week in a row. So it's trying to save some energy and just be prepared for tomorrow.
Yeah, how hard is that to do, especially when you're coming to a course that a lot of people here have not seen?
I think it's just, you know, you just need to be confident in your preparations, trust your caddy, trust that he has done his work out there. And at the end of the day, you know, you still need to hit good shots out there. So I think just trust that you've done the preparations. And I tried to really concentrate good on Monday when I did the front 9 and then did a back 9 today. So I think the course is a great golf course. I think you see most of it off the tee. So it's not that tricky. But I think it definitely, if the wind picks up like yesterday, it was so hard. So I think just the trust that you have a good plan and hit good shots.
I feel like you like to play in the wind, right? Yeah, so does that help, you know, like going into a week like this where obviously it's probably going to be windy every day?
Yeah, no, I do like playing in the wind. Like, I always love going when we go to like Scotland or British Open. I think it's a fun challenge, and you can kind of use your imagination a little bit more, hit some lower fun shots, which I kind of enjoy doing. So hopefully that can be a little bit to my advantage this week.
Yeah, for sure. So last question, going into tomorrow's the first round, what is the mindset? Do you treat it like a major, or do you just treat it like any other week?
I mean, I think I don't really change my mindset much. I think I'm still going to have the same kind of mindset out there, just trusting myself and enjoy it. Obviously, it's super fun to play in a major, so kind of remind myself of how lucky I am to be here and play as well, and just try and enjoy the moment and have fun.
Yeah, and you never know what might happen, because when you won last year, you shot a final round 61, yes. Right? So it's like you never know what might happen out here.
Yeah, for sure. And you're right. It's golf. Anything can happen. And I think you have to believe in that too, that if you keep doing the right things, then, one time it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to eventually work out.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, and excited to watch you play this week.
Thank you.
Thanks.